It's tabletop time!
I'm Jazza from Draw with Jazza.
I'm Rob.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Mackie.
I feel like you need to say I'm Shad. I'm Jazza from Draw with Jazza.
I'm Rob.
I'm Shad from I Am Shad.
I'm Mackie.
You had that thing, that's great.
He's not wearing his jacket!
And you shaved! This is the new and improved Shad. I'm sorry. Anyways, welcome back to Tabletop Time, where we are playing Cogent Roleplay. Tell us about Cogent Roleplay, Ben, or what you know of it so far.
It's really cool, guys. You should totally look it up.
Where?
So,
Brilliant.
Where can I check this out?
CogentRoleplay.com.
Brilliant. Yeah, free RPG system that we're going to be playing. Ben's first time playing it with us today. And we have other stuff.
Yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, thanks for watching on YouTube. If you're watching on Twitch, check out YouTube at youtube.com/it's tabletop time. You can also check us out on Twitch if you're watching on YouTube, which is twitch.tv/it's tabletop time. Or if you're listening on SoundCloud, no, if you're not listening on SoundCloud, but you want to, soundcloud.com/it's tabletop time.
But what if you're listening on SoundCloud?
Well, then you can watch us live or watch us on YouTube, but the other ones. Fuck. This is like a really bad game of rock, paper, scissors.
And you can submit fan art or check what we're up to on Twitter at twitter.com/@tabletop time.
Okay, good. Good job, guys. Let's get started. So, basically, we should start off very briefly, because this video will be released a few days after the last one, just to reintroduce our characters. In particular, give us a sense of your goals, aspirations, and history as far as we know it or can share. And what you look like in particular as well, for people who may want to do a little bit of fan art, which will be fun to see, and which we will probably showcase next week in the art showcase video. Hint, hint, to our viewers. Yeah, let's begin with Rover.
Okay, so my character's name is Rover. He's 120, to future people. He's Caucasian, 5'2". He's basically Dr. Robotnik from Sonic, but with a white coat and a white mustache and stuff. He's really quirky, extremely intelligent, and he makes drugs for rich people. And he also has intense scarring in his veins, which has turned his veins mostly black.
Cool. Little bit of context, sorry, I should have started off with this, is that the city that he's referring to and the rich people he's referring to is a city called Haven in a world surrounded by the rest of the world known as the Gap, full of brutish, tortured, poor, starving and mutated warring clans in a sort of post-apocalyptic sort of place, whereas Haven, the place that these players have come from, is this gorgeous utopia where everyone wears a halo that enhances their intelligence, and everything's white and everything's pleasant, and people live to be quite old. 120 is on the older side, but he's still got a good leg ahead of him. So yes, let's continue on with Ben's character, Brad.
Yeah, so Brad. So how much am I actually sharing here?
Nothing that we don't
Share
know.
pretty much what they know.
Okay. So Brad is a tinkerer. He's very good with his hands. He once was an extremely intelligent being, but unfortunately, due to circumstances, he is pretty much absent-minded. There's nothing going on up here. But he yearns for adventure, and yeah.
How is he as a person? What's his morality like?
He's pretty well just, he keeps to himself. He's not very responsive. He's not very talkative. He's just pretty much deadpan all the time.
What makes him passionate? I mean, there might not be much that reaches his brain, but what makes him fired up and defensive or angry or happy?
Pretty much, I would say it's just the thrill. He's a thrill seeker.
Yeah. Brilliant. Cool. And then we have Loop, Rob's character.
I'm Loop. I'm a bald albino kind of hacker type person. I'm also a hardened criminal by Haven standards, so I've been to jail twice. I also harbour a very real paranoia that the leaders of Haven, this wonderful city, are puppets, and there is only one person.
For SoundCloud, he gave a very shifty, conspicuous look.
The shifty eye look, yeah. But I'm paranoid that the people that run Haven, which are known as the Apostles, are actually fake. And it's all a puppet being run by one guy.
Mm-hmm. Now, Let's very quickly just go through what you wear and look like. Just very quickly, because it'll be the last time. But it's good to have at the start of the video when people can imagine it. So
I already explained my
you've done yours. You're like the mustached scientist with the lab coat and glasses and
I hate sick people.
skinny
too.
and oldish.
Yeah, my guy is got very old, tattered clothing that obviously hasn't been looked after in a very long time. But he is totally ripped. This guy's a beast. He's extremely striking to look at.
Like Bruce Lee physique, not like tanked Hulk. He's
not tank. He's just really toned.
Chiseled.
Yeah, he's very very chiseled, and but the whole time he's sitting there. He's got all these wicked sick moves, but he's just deadpan the whole time.
Yeah. Cool. And then we have Loop. What do you look like? You've done the bald albino. What do you wear?
I wear pretty much what everyone else wears in Haven, which is like white togas or white clothes, but mine are a lot.
Not togas. They're more like
yeah. There's some type of styled white clothing, but I'm really lazy and I spend most of my time working, fighting the system, and so they're all a bit like ratty and grey. It's kind of gross.
Awesome. Cool. So we begin in Rover's shop, where Loop has been sent and is accompanied by a couple of guards who are releasing him from a recent incarceration because he was found looking into systems that were far beyond what he was allowed to be looking at. For someone who was part of a system administration program, then removed from it, and then given other different tasks, but had access to other information that he gave himself loopholes to and such and such. Eventually, we get to where we are now, where Loop has recently been in prison and is going to get his Halo recalibrated. The Halo which adds to his superior intellect. At the same time, when he was imprisoned, it was sort of numbed to the point where the drug that Rover sort of underground has engineered and shares or whatever, that same drug effect will have been similar to what Loop experienced in prison. Although the drug effect that Rover likes to share is enjoyed by the participants because it's used in a short term to be a release from superior intelligence, it was torture for Loop over a long period of time to be separated from the aid to superior intellect and such, and being numbed to that. At the same time, it was sort of awakening in a way that people who are part of Haven, this great city, they've often been isolated from emotion and humanity because of the superiorness of their intellect and the connection through the Halo. So we pick up in Rover's shop, but Loop arrives with the guards sort of unannounced. They don't necessarily book things like this in, and part of your job is to recalibrate Halos. But because it was unannounced, you're also slightly intoxicated, or the equivalent of intoxicated. This drug that you distribute and have developed that is called humanity, because it restores more of the humanity elements of consciousness, in terms of separating from that weird elevated place that the Halo takes people. You're the equivalent of intoxicated, but it's not really like being drunk. It's nothing like that. No one can really see that you're disconnected more so from the Halo than most people on humanity. And so the guards arrive. They're pretty aloof.
Am I being manhandled?
You're cuffed. There's no escaping.
But they're not like hands on shoulder pushing me around and shit.
No, no. But they don't really have to be, because they have a rod that's connected to the back of your Halo, and if you struggle too much, if it comes off, you die.
Okay.
Right. So that's sort of how they have you. You're cuffed, but that's just sort of how tradition has carried over into. You don't actually need to be cuffed, because if you struggled, you'd die anyway. But there are two guards. They're not like buff. Nobody in Haven is or needs to be, but some people have been, but it's sort of like in the same way that the Halo enhances bodily aspects, if people wanted to, for example, be very physically active, it would aid them to be so in a really good way. So for someone, for example, like Brad, who is really active and physically fit, would be more so than they would be capable of as a 22-year-old previous to this world's development because of the Halos enhancement.
So basically, it balances hormones and like proteins and stuff better.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the healing of muscles and telling the brain how to repair and...
It's like administering steroids. That
Yeah.
preferably don't shrink your balls.
Exactly. It's like the good version of that, but not like that growth base, but yeah. Cool. So you arrive next to the guards. You know either of their names. They don't really talk, but you know one of them is just really edgy about you. Doesn't like you because I think there's been conversations about you're probably one of the first people to be so
Infamous.
Troublesome.
Yeah, no, people in this society have never really been troublesome before, which is really odd. But they don't quite know what to make of it because you're not technically... I mean, you broke the law by being in systems you weren't supposed to be in. That hasn't really happened before. So they don't really know how to process this. But they're just doing their job. They're taking you to get recalibrated because your Halo's been, essentially degraded, disconnected for so long. When I say disconnected, it's just sort of been numbed.
Yeah.
It does have to be recalibrated for your brain specifically and to work functionally because they want you to work functionally so you can become a normal functional member of Haven again. So the guards arrive and you answer the door in your humanity state. And,
with my slippers on,
sorry to get here unannounced again, but we have another prisoner for recalibration. I know the last one was 20 years ago, but we don't quite get warning of these things.
Yeah, they don't really come around here often anymore, do they? All right, what sort of work do I have to do on this one?
Just the standard recalibration. Nothing too serious. Though it is the next model from the previous one that you worked on, so you may need to check the system again for any diagnostics.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
He hands you the rod and prompts you to... Because he's essentially your prisoner now, but the guards sort of stand outside and they're like, we'll be waiting out here.
All right, guys, I got this. Off you go.
All right, cool. So you take him inside. The shop's pretty standard, but roll a perception check, both of you. For Rob, it's going to be challenge level 3. No, 4. For Mackie, it's going to be challenge level 3. So,
What was my challenge level?
4.
4.
Okay. You just notice a weird buzzing, like a weird pulsing.
Is it coming from the...
No, you don't quite notice what it was about, but you know that it was pretty much all the lights and power to the entire facility.
There was no dice count.
But it was so... Oh, crap. Yeah, sorry.
Get on it, boy. Shit.
Alright, yeah.
Alright, there we go.
Yeah, sorry. Rob rolled a
4.
and Mackie rolled a better.
Did he?
Yes.
I think so.
And he had a lower challenge level. Anyways. So you just feel like something happened, but you're not quite sure what. Rob, Mackie, or Rover, you get annoyed because your place haven't had any grid troubles since the great attack from the Gap from 50 years ago when and it was the closest they came to knocking the power out.
So when you say facility, are we talking Haven itself, or are we talking just my building?
Of what you're aware, your building.
It's odd for the lights to be acting up. Yeah, let me get rid of this rod. We don't need this for now. So I'll undo the rod that's plugged into his head. Sit down, I need to take a look at that thing, but in the meantime, we might need to wait until this power sorts itself out.
As soon as you say that,
No power.
yep, and you both black out.
Like, knocked out.
Yep.
Okay.
Cool. You wake up
Hello.
in a garbage heap.
Yeah.
In a rust-ridden, dirt-stained, otherworldly place, and you have no idea how you got there. It's like you fell asleep where we are right now and woke up on Mars, covered in spiders. Like, it's that drastic a change. Like, you are in a junkyard. Rust is everywhere, dirt is everywhere. It's desolate, there's winds, there's a red, grey, rust-coloured sky. They are all different colours, but just imagine them all murkily mixed together. Clouds everywhere, there's a few storms off in the distance. You see a couple of flashes here and there, but you're both a bit groggy, but slowly coming to. And you notice someone standing a stone's throw away, watching you both wake up, with a distant but somehow revelatory look on it in his eyes, like he feels like he should know something. You see Brad, who you don't know by name, standing above you, looking at you both on the ground. Welcome to the Gap.
Does he say that?
I say that. What do you say, Brad? Do you know what? I'll tell you what. You can roll intelligence checks to figure out
If you speak.
some of this stuff, right? Because you can't just speak assuming what you do or don't know. So you have -1 in intelligence.
Yep.
What are your other stats?
I have 2 in perception, then I have 2 in athletics and grapple, I have 2 in acrobatics, and 1 in sleight of hand and 1 in stealth.
Okay, I'm not going to let you take perception checks because they're more specifically intelligence checks. So you can make it. I'm going to get you to make an intelligence check, which is your base of 3 minus 1. Okay, and this is a challenge level. I have different things based on what you'll get, either 1, 2, or 0. Okay.
Okay.
So make your roll.
1.
You got 1. You know that they have halos. You don't remember what they're called, but you know you have one. You see it in the mirror every day. The mirror being the only piece of chrome left in the junkyard that you come from. But they're like you somehow, or they're like you were, and that's all you know. But you know you're different and special for some reason to all the people you spend time with. So that must make these people special somehow. That's all you know.
We have a lot to get through. You can't go that detailed.
And the only way you got there was because you stood there for 20 minutes looking at them, and slowly these neurons in your brain fire. And that's where you got.
No worries.
Anyways, but they're groggily waking up.
Am I still humanitized on my drugs?
The equivalent of, yes. So I'd say if you made intelligence checks, you'd get a -1 from your intelligence, but you're pretty normal.
As I wake up, I'm going to go, is this real life?
Is this just fantasy?
Can I roll perception? I just want to see if I have my halo.
Well, you don't need a roll. You have your halo attached to your head, yes.
Is it functioning?
That's a tricky one, because I don't know what a perception would tell you.
Well,
well,
yeah, okay.
Just for
On yourself, you could ask each other if that's what your characters would do, and you could figure out that way, but you wouldn't. It's not necessarily something you can.
I wouldn't know.
You've been so disconnected from the intellect your halo gives you for so long anyway that, like,
You wouldn't know.
you feel the same. The only one of you two who really feels different right now is
Can I ask him
Rover.
what the square root of pi is?
You can if you want. Look,
Will he know the answer if he's
Brad.
floating? No.
oh,
I was gonna say.
Rover.
Rover.
You can ask him.
Will he know the answer?
I love that you wake up and that's the first thing you ask. You're like, oh god,
I've been disconnected from
what's the
this
square
shit.
root of pi?
I've been disconnected from this shit for a year. The second it's about to get re-enabled, I get knocked out and put in fucking junkyard.
Yeah, go on.
I'm using assist with chemistry.
Is this your? What's this for? To know the
See if I know. So
square
I'm
root of pi.
Yeah.
Pi is not chemistry. It's
No,
mathematics.
Yeah, but to do chemistry, you
I'm
still
not going to allow the assist. It's an intelligence check. It's what other intelligence skills do you have? Yeah, no, it's an intelligence check.
I
You
failed.
do not know
Are
the
you
square root of
But
pi.
no, this shouldn't be a roll thing. If he's naturally more intelligent, like that's 3.
Yeah, no, you're right. It should be a roll thing, and I probably would have made it a roll thing because of the state he's in, and he got a 0 in his roll. So he's like.
So narratively, am I being carefree, or do I actually not know out of game?
Currently, it's sort of like being stunned with a flashbang. It's like you're not only.
So I shake
Is
him.
your the humanity that you took will have been wearing off, but at the moment
I'm still groggy.
you're dazed beyond like what you're aware, like can process.
Okay, so I shake him and say, "What's the square root of pi?"
And he's like,
Fuck.
So I guess
you see him turn and say, "What's the square root of pi?"
that completely goes over my head. But as soon as I see that he's awake and actually moving, okay, I notice the halo on the back of his head, and so quick as a lightning flash, I pick him up, throw him up against some sort of garbage heap, twist his arm in a very unnatural angle, and I gently touch his halo, and I touch my own. And I touch his again.
That's good. It's like a Tarzan and Jane moment. It's good.
And I turn around and I'm just frantically like pointing at my halo, pointing at his, and showing him that we're the same.
Make an intelligence check for how communicative you can be about this.
Nothing.
Yep, no, that's about right. No words, good. Okay.
I've just been shoved up against the wall.
Yeah.
What the hell? Get your hands off me.
Based on what he's doing, how do you react?
Didn't he just say he lifted me up and forced me against the wall?
Yeah, but as he holds you there, he's
Showing you that I've got a halo like you. I don't know what it is, but I've got one.
Aren't I backwards?
No, I said I turned around and I'm
Oh, okay.
So you would have to do a perception check and get a good roll, I would imagine, for him to know what he's talking about.
I think it's pretty clear.
Okay.
You still have 2 points of intelligence, even with a -1. Like you know what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
I'm like you.
Yes, you've got a
much
halo.
less
Let go of me.
It doesn't take an intelligence roll to. Maybe it does. Make an intelligence roll. Challenge level 2.
Do I have 3 or do I have 2?
You have 2 intelligence to roll with this. This is a temporary negative.
1. Are you kidding me?
Okay. Yeah. He's trying to say
Something.
you have a halo.
Yep.
So do I. But
Yep.
you're not making the connection that only you and Rover were the ones that were with each other and woke up out here. This is someone who looks like he's been out here for a long time and has a halo, which
look
is
pretty
unheard
rad as
of. But you're not making that connection. You just know he's trying to say you have a halo and I have a halo, so big deal. Meanwhile,
So, okay. I'll just say. So he doesn't look like brutish necessarily. He just looks fit.
yeah.
Shit.
I'll just say, what are you doing, son?
I just turn around and I just look at him and just be like, and I'm pointing at
Roll
his.
an intelligence check. Challenge level 2, same thing. Was that with a negative?
Yeah.
Okay, you make that connection that Loop didn't. That he has a halo and you have a halo, but he's not from Haven anytime recently.
Okay.
And
I would
that-
recognize the model of brain thing because I worked on it.
Yeah, good point. And you're coming to this interaction is bringing you back to your wits a bit, and you're actually realizing this is a bit of a revelation. You've never heard of someone in the Gap having a halo. That's completely unheard of.
Okay. So I'll say hey you there, convict. This guy's got a halo too, but it's like old tech, like real old tech. I think he's trying to point out that we're the same.
I think I'm just going to ignore him and try and
it's actually
force
not.
myself down.
It's 4
'cause
years
You're still
old.
holding me up, aren't you?
4 years old.
It's 4 years old. So it's not old tech, but you know the model. It's a recent model.
Oh, okay.
But you know he's
It's last generation.
dirty and he's, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'll say last generation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm completely ignoring him, trying to fight my way from being held up against the wall.
Fight your way.
Oh, I'm not going to beat him. Just say I'm failing at it. like hitting him. Just doing
Okay,
nothing.
so you're a bit out of it, but like. Meanwhile, everyone roll a perception check. Challenge level for Rob. Challenge level 4.
Is this with 2 intel?
For Brad, challenge level 2.
Is this with 2 intel?
Yes, you're keeping that disability until I say so. Rover or Mackie, challenge level 3.
I got 5.
Okay,
Rob
so-
got 5. Luke got 5.
All right, Brad/Ben. Take your dirty dice out of there.
1.
You're like showing him your halo. Like that's all that's on your mind. You know that. What did you
I
get,
got a
Mackie?
4.
Okay, so meanwhile, while Brad has latched onto this concept that his brain seems to have grabbed onto, can't let that go. Like this is the first time something's been of significance intellectually to him in a long time, so it feels quite refreshing. Meanwhile, Rover and Loop both hear stomping and a few clangs from not very far. Now, you're in a junkyard with mounds that are mountainous of junk, like very high. You're sort of somewhere half up towards the top of one of these junk piles because you're actually quite close to the edge of Haven. And you seem to notice some sort of a chute system that you may have come from.
Okay.
But somewhere behind one of the piles, not too far away, in which direction you're not entirely sure, you hear
Something.
clangs and grunts sort of building up in sound.
Alright. I'm gonna look for a shadow.
Oh, shit.
And I'm gonna just walk over and lift up one leg and do this. So like a Dracula pose, because my guy's really bad at stealth and try and hide. Just
You're
behind
wearing white.
Yeah.
This is the cleanest, whitest thing that has been in this junkyard for millennia.
He's not good at stealth, so I'm just gonna stand there like against some rubbish with the thing over my head.
I can't see them, they can't see me.
Yeah.
All right, what do? Loop?
I'm still being held up against a fucking wall.
But you notice this, so do you say something? Do you try and act?
Shit, something's coming. And I just keep hitting him. I don't think he's gonna understand it.
Okay. Meanwhile, around the corner...
Can I do a perception check to perceive that he's trying to warn me about something, even though I didn't notice
now that round has passed, I'll tell you what happens, and then I'll let you sort of react. But you couldn't preempt the threat or act preparatorily.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Couldn't prepare.
A group of about 6 pretty large people come around the corner. One of them is clearly the alpha. At the moment, only Loop and Rover, or Mackie and Rob, are noticing this. One of them, this massive, big, pretty fat, pretty tanked dude. 2 other really big grunty ones, and then 3 pretty skinny, like really sort of malnutritioned almost, and pale or sickly looking people as well. Mm-hmm. The big guy is wearing plates of like a car hood on his back from like a very small car. I don't know, but like, you get the idea. It's like wearing pieces of this and that shrapnel around his neck in a chain, big, and he's got a big pipe, massive, big copper pipe about up to his head in height with a sort of pipe corner on the end of it. Mm-hmm. That seems to be his, apparently, weapon of choice. And they gather together. They will have been following some sort of sound and stop dead.
Can I roll a perception to see if they have halos?
Yeah, of course you can.
Challenge level, sir.
1.
2.
You succeed. None of them have halos.
So when I check, by the way, I've still got my lab coat over my arm like Dracula, and I've kind of just gone like that and peeked around and then put it back.
You remember stories of the people of the Gap. You feel like they were embellished because you remember a world over 100 years ago that was pretty normal. So you can't imagine that the people of the Gap, spoken of as almost a different species, would be so drastically different, but to you now and from what you've been used to, they are drastically different.
Or they got like moles and like.
Some of these people
welts and
have
stuff.
tumours and welts. Some of these, they look pretty human to us, but they're very extreme. They're covered in scars, tattoos,
They got like
oil and
gigantism
grease and
stuff.
various things. Like they're just as dirty can get.
Yeah.
I must be very weird looking to them.
You both are.
I'm.
You're like pale
I'm white.
and wearing
I'm
pale.
white, and I have red eyes.
Yeah. Now, Brad notices this.
Yep.
Now you can make it a perception check, and this is a really important one. So, but it's still a challenge level 2.
So hold on, I get 2 for perception, 2 for reflex, and then I get 3 base, right?
So base of 3.
Sound. Yeah, 3 base.
Minus 1 for intelligence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus perception. There we go.
What'd you get?
3.
Okay.
Technically, for next time you do that, you have an extra 2 dice because it's base of 3. So plus 2, minus 1, and then plus 2. So you had an extra dice. Sorry.
Shit, I hope you go beast
1,
mode
2,
right
plus,
now.
so 3 plus 2, minus 1, plus 2.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. You good. You good. You good.
You know
Wait.
that this is an opposing clan,
Yep.
and you know that the leaders of your clan who you associate with for some weird reason, you don't know why they keep bringing you into the room when they have these discussions that are beyond your comprehension. Outside of what your character understands, they're negotiating treaties with this tribe, which is not common because most tribes just war, but things are very tenuous and have been on the razor's edge and about to turn bad. That's all you know.
Yeah.
But not even in that eloquent a way.
Yeah.
You just know these people have been seen around. You don't know if you like them or not,
Yep.
or if you're meant to.
Yep. Yeah.
So that's sort of what you got to work with.
So, like, my first instinct is I found these 2 first. These are mine. If you touch them, there's going to be hell to pay.
So you own this.
One of the big one, the alpha, stomps forward and he's looking at you and then at the other 2 and he says, "You that one from who are these?" He roars at you. You can see the fear in his eyes. Well, you both can. You're just a bit slow, Brad. You can see the fear in his eyes, but at the same time, he's commanding because he has to. That's his job.
Yep.
And he's got his armed guard behind him.
Okay. So here my instincts, they kick in. All I hear is the roar. And I'm like, battle. So I arc up and I stretch out and I just
Go for him.
I just stare him down. I throw the challenge straight at him.
All right, how do you both
I run.
react? Away or
Away.
Can I roll a destiny roll to see if I have any like chemicals or anything? So I can make like smoke or anything?
Yes, I'll let you do that.
Alright, so what I'm after is like just basic chemicals to make like smoke grenades. So like sugar, sugar, bicarb soda and whatever else.
So do what?
To make like smoke bombs.
Get a bottle of Coke and a Mentos, basically.
Sort of.
You got a 15, okay. I'll say you have 1 tube of corrosive acid in a vial.
Jesus Christ.
Well, it's pretty commonplace in his lab. He works with so many different chemicals.
Okay.
So you have a whole bunch of useless stuff, but that's the only thing that you can find that seems to actually be something that may be useful.
Okay, so I have corrosive acid.
So like some sort of hydrofluoric acid sort of thing.
Pretend to drink it and offer some.
Oh yeah. Alright, so first of all, I'm gonna take a little bit of humanity out of my pocket and just stick it in my head. I'm assuming at this point, like, there's like a little circle, like a intravenous strip in your head, so you can inject.
Yeah. It's not injected. There's it's sort of like let's just say it's like a dissolvable strip there, where there's the sensor that sort of feeds and dissolves and ingests.
Okay, so it's just like a little
like those Mentos
Like an outside
dissolvable strips.
tongue.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
It's like those Mentos strip things, not Mentos, Listerine strips. That
So
you
I'm gonna get out like a humanity or 2,
Yep.
and put it on my head. However, I do that.
Yep.
And then I think you've got a good idea there. I'm gonna pretend to drink pretend to take a swig of the hydrochloric acid or whatever it is, and then I'm gonna go. You want some, boys?
Okay.
Good.
Combat begins.
Okay.
You take some drugs and then offer them a drink of something they've never seen before. Meanwhile, they're focused on someone who's charging at them full speed.
Who's only charging at one?
So they're somewhat distracted from a drink offer right now.
Try it again later. Guaranteed to work.
Say that again?
I said try it again later. It's guaranteed to work.
It's on Brad, maybe. Okay.
I can just imagine.
Anyways.
Hey, do you want to? And I'll just run past him.
So
Do you want to? I'll just keep on running past. No, just because I'm just.
you are guaranteed to be much faster than these people.
Yep.
So how combat works in Cogent Roleplay is by reverse declaration and then forwards action. So what that means is the slowest people, the people with the lowest reflex, say what they're going to do, and then the people with the next lowest reflex say what they're going to do, and then you, being the fastest, get to make your choice based on all the declarations of the slower people. So you can react to what they say, and then everyone sort of rolls at once, but basically you act first and react to what they're doing.
So whatever your outcome is can completely negate everything else.
For example, me and Rob.
You both have
and
0
NPC.
reflex, you're both going to have to roll.
6.
Yep.
So Rob declares
Okay,
first.
so I'm going to say Rob declares first.
I ran off.
Okay. Loop runs off. In response, 3 of these really skinny things, these really skinny people, crouch to the ground and just scurry off.
Ugh.
Bill.
Yeah, with that sound effect.
Nice class. Guaranteed.
Not that sound effect. Anyways, I just really wanted to use that, I'm sorry. Anyways, meanwhile, the massive guy at the front and the 2 guys beside him
That was lucky.
start stomping.
That was really
I love when
lucky.
it works out perfectly. Start stomping towards the group, and the one at the front. You've already declared that you're charging, right?
Sorry.
So you've said that you're going at these people. Like,
Oh no! I said I was arcing up, and I was just standing. I was staring.
I thought
down,
you were going to charge at them.
I wasn't charging. I was sending him the challenge. I was like, come at me, bro.
All right, cool. So he, in any other situation, would have charged at you full on if you were anyone else. But you're different, and you always have been. And for some reason, based on the perception roll you took before, you, for some reason, seem to be what's swaying these negotiations. The only thing holding them back from just all-out war.
Yeah.
So he would have been running at you charging, but for some reason he's not. Anyways, he smacks his pipe on his big thing on the ground. It's like, rah! He's just like, he's taunting you. It's like, this is his way of refraining himself, but this is the most he's going to refrain himself. And then he spits at you. What do you do? Oh, actually, no. First, then we have Rover.
So, what I'm going to do, if you'll permit me, I'm going to use my saboteur skill to make a tiny little trap. And basically all it's going to be is like something that when they stick up on it, it's just like something real simple, like a shovel and a rake, and when they step on the shovel, the rake flicks up and the poison's on the end of it.
Experience.
Destiny roll for what, if you look around you and find anything like that. You find a pretty average rake.
Okay. So I'm just going to like get a little bit of tape and just tape it onto the end of the rake, so if they step on it, it just comes up and hits them with the...
Make a saboteur check.
So do I assist with saboteur?
No, that's the check.
What's the challenge level?
So I get my intelligence for that check.
We're sort of considering it engineering, but with a specific goal. Challenge level 3.
Oh, he's got that.
Yeah, I got 4.
All right.
Cool.
Alright.
Sweet.
You, for somehow, construct with this rake and a few things that seem to be very near within arm's reach, construct something that would be pretty easy to, if it was stepped on, would smack up pretty quick.
Then I'm gonna just like, one I'm making it, I'm just gonna like kind of sit and leaning back behind it. and that's it. That's my combat thing. I'm kind of just sitting there admiring my work.
Cool. Meanwhile, Brad is standing in front of this beast of a man who slams this pipe on the ground. I love it when it works out. That was almost accidental. Something exploded over on the side for some reason. Anyways, I'm sorry, I'm enjoying the sound effects. What do you do when the spit hits your face?
So that immediately sets me off. So how much debris and everything is there around?
Oh,
that I can
piles.
Okay.
And you're now sort of in this valley of debris. You're still, technically the ground itself,
Is debris.
that as it once used to be, is probably half a kilometre underneath where you're standing.
Yep.
But things have built up over so long that now what you're standing on is rust that's corroded so much that it's sand.
Yeah.
So it still feels like ground, it feels like earth, but you're still part of the junkyard. You're standing.
Yeah. So I guess my instincts kick in enough to realise that I cannot beat this guy on a full-on brute strength battle. You know, this guy's obviously stronger than me.
Yes, but that's never been a problem before.
Yeah. And so what I want to do is I want to pick up something, throw it at him while he's distracted, just literally run up here and roundhouse kick him
That's
in
a
the face.
little too intelligent.
Okay. Okay, no worries.
You could do an intelligence check.
You can, you're going to have to get a straight 2. So you can roll that. Roll 2 dice, and if you get 2, you can do that. No.
I got a 1. Okay. Well then,
You can pick one of those 2 things to do.
Okay.
Or something else.
Pick something else.
You just throw something at his head. And then... no, sorry, what do you want to do?
So okay, well I want to get high. Can I have something else? No, I want to get high. I want to, be able to jump from above. I want to be able to use
You want to move to an... Yeah, okay.
Yes.
You don't actually want to lower your intelligence any more than it currently is. That would be a bad idea.
Just need some humanity.
Yeah, so you're sprinting off parkour style, and you're like jumping between this and that to get high, to elevate yourself, get higher ground. Yeah.
That's what I want to do. So
I'm going to get you to make a parkour skill check, and it's going to be challenge level 3. Challenge level 3.
Okay, so this would be my reflex.
Plus your base of 3. And
So,
plus
Base of 3 plus reflex plus your... Do you have a parkour skill?
Yeah, I have one in parkour.
Plus that 1 dice.
What about athletics or
You
acrobatics?
can roll as an assist
It's
with
one or
athletics.
the other, but do you know what...
I've got more in acrobatics than I do in parkour.
You could assist with acrobatics or athletics and then roll parkour.
Oh, I
couldn't
could,
you?
hey.
I don't see why not.
Yeah,
because it's justifiable.
Yeah, you can do that. That should, in theory, give you a better roll.
Yeah, so
The better the result, the better the outcome. So, like, it is worth investing more so you can reach higher ground or whatever.
So I'm gonna,
if you roll an assist, you can roll an athletics or acrobatics.
Yep.
I'll allow either.
Yep, plus my parkour.
No, not plus parkour.
Like,
This is a separate roll, so it's one or the other. But because this is an
okay.
assist roll, you're assisting your parkour with an acrobatics or athletics roll. Does that make sense?
You
How
do,
many- yeah.
So
I
you
see.
would
Base
do
of
plus
3.
1 for the athletics. So whatever your current roll is for parkour.
No, it's plus 2. He has 2 athletics.
Yeah, I have
Yeah,
two
but he's got
athletics.
1 in that, so you add 1 to the roll.
What? No. He's not rolling parkour.
I'm rolling
He's
athletics.
assisting a later parkour roll.
Yeah, which
So,
is 1 additional
3 base,
dice.
plus 2 for your athletics or acrobatics. They're both the same.
Yep.
Plus 2 for reflex. That's your roll.
So this is my
Challenge
roll?
level 3 is
That's
usually...
your
This
your
is an
assist.
assist.
So this is my assist. Okay.
Athletics, acrobatics,
So it's
assist.
base plus reflex plus athletics.
Yep.
Okay. Or acrobatics or whatever. They're both the
Challenge
same.
level 3, 1, 2, 3.
So you're getting...
So you get no negatives or positives. You had a chance
I
of
see.
improving or degrading
Okay,
your
that
next
makes
roll.
sense.
Now you can make a parkour roll at a
is-
challenge level 3, which is the same minus 1 dice because you only have 1 point in parkour. Yep,
Okay,
that's your roll.
So, okay, yeah, I see.
Base of 3 plus 2 plus 1. 1, 2, 3. So you just made it. You at one point while you were jumping up and jumping on things and going to roll and all this stuff, you went to do this jump across from one shafty ledge to another, and mid jump you noticed like this spike that was just about to hit you, and you rolled and blah blah blah. You didn't get higher ground or anything that you were really hoping to, but you didn't get impaled on a rusty spike.
Okay,
And then you end up in a very quick flash of movement. You're like pretty good stone's throw above these people as
Yeah.
this guy stands up again with his pole.
Yeah.
He looks really ticked off. And we'll get to him in a moment, but now we return to Loop, who has run away. Roll perception. I feel like this is going to be a long campaign. This is like the introduction moment.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Damn.
Okay, you notice this weird sprawly creature sort of coming up behind you, and another one sort of up on a ledge on your right and another one up on your ledge on your left. They don't look particularly powerful in any way, but they're moving really gracefully around this junkyard that you're unfamiliar with. And like they're just like silkily moving across it, and they seem to be trying to surround you.
Shit.
What do you do? Meanwhile, the two that are on either side of you are moving fast enough that they'll be in front of you soon, and you will be surrounded by 3 thingies. They're people, but barely. They're sort of like Smeagol's.
Have you seen that thing in The Simpsons where Bart's running down the hallway away from the bullies, and then he's like puts the left blinker on and then runs right? Can I try and do something like that, obviously without a blinker? Deceive them into thinking I'm going to run one way, but in fact I run another.
Yeah, I would say your coat might be useful in this scenario.
I would like to try and do something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Alright, you are in this valley of stuff and you've had to climb up a thing and then you sort of climbing down another thing, but there is a gap of time whereupon you might be able to not be seen by them, but distractingly throw your coat somewhere, which is very white. Underneath is sort of much more like the undergarments you've been wearing, like a tank top and you know, you won't take your pants off, but like they're much darker white than your coat, which is a prison coat, which is much whiter than the clothes you wear.
Okay, wait, so there's a gap? Like a...
A period of time where they won't see you taking your coat off and throwing it. Like, they'll come around and they'll see either... Like, you sort of get what I'm saying? Like, you can create a diversion.
I want to create a diversion. Do I roll perception?
I'm suggesting you can throw your coat and hide. And
Would that use stealth or deception?
That will be deception.
Sweet, let's do that.
Yeah.
What's the challenge level?
Challenge level... I'm going to say roll and we'll see how you go.
I'll do that.
Well, okay, to achieve success for what you want to get done, I'm going to say 3, but the better, if that makes sense.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, you throw the coat, it flies pretty aerodynamically and lands on a half-submerged tyre, empty flat, decaying tyre, but it lands in such a way that it sort of looks like a huddled person. So it's sort of like an arched back.
Yep.
And you know you've got a moment to run, but you've got to like run and hide to get away. But
Do that.
yeah. So that's sort of where you're at. I'll get you to roll a...
Fuck.
Okay. We'll break away. We return to our other heroes, Brad and Rover.
Okay, so I have to declare first.
Yes.
Alright, so...
Oh no, you're faster than these other guys.
Am I?
Yeah, you got a 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So our big grunt alpha goes. Wait.
Please be a female laugh.
Shit! Doesn't work. No, I was actually looking for this. Yeah. There we go. So he roars, and the other 2 guys start climbing.
Yep.
Actually, no. One of them starts climbing.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, hang on. I'm going to roll for this. Okay, yeah. One of them starts climbing this tower up towards you. He can't, like you sort of ran up it. He's like climbing. And the other one turns towards you.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay, so
sorry, yes. Turns towards Rover and stomps warily towards you. He seems to be eyeing something around your ears. I should have described the halos visually. They're sort of like wreaths they don't go all the way around the head. They stop at the front, just sort of besides the temples.
Like if you took an Oculus Rift and went.
No, more like if you took. They're sort of like a horseshoe, but sort of thick and white
Yeah,
and
okay,
sleek
okay.
and very connected to the head. They have tiny little nodes that connect to the follicles. Yeah. Anyways,
Alright, so my plan is, you said the ground was made out of rust. I'm a chemist. I'm going to use...
you're going to have to notice that though.
Okay, well,
Yeah. Brad
perception.
knows that, so you're going to have to roll a perception.
I would say this perception check
I will
would
let you
be-
assist with your chemistry roll. So
I'm
you
not
can
going to
roll it-
bother. This should be like a 1. I'm a chemist. Rust is pretty easy to spot.
The challenge level is going to be the same. Basically, it's like your roll will make the difference.
Fine, I'll take it.
I'll say challenge level 3, but you can make an assist roll.
This is the chemist assist
It's
roll.
a perception check. Chemist assist roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you get +3.
Doesn't that mean you automatically pass it?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't have to roll
So
anything.
based on your
Unless you
chemistry
can get
experience,
something, unless you can get something extra out of it. Oh, there's phosphorus in here as well. I can make a bomb out of this.
Wow. Funny you say that, because basically what I'm planning to do is use rust, and I think it's all you need is aluminium. You can make thermite. I think that's like, so it just burns really hot and it's very bright.
yeah.
And I'm just gonna step back.
Extremely hot.
Yeah, and extremely bright. So the idea is to just burn some of the rust, so it makes like a scene. So they want to investigate it.
Yeah. I'm going to roll. Okay, so you got a 9 in a destiny roll. What
I feel like my chemist roll should have dictated whether
your
it's-
chemist roll allows you to know what you're working with or what you need to get.
and how to work with it.
Yeah. My destiny roll was to say if you have the things at hand that will make that possible. So you need aluminium.
I'm in a tip.
Yeah, but how close is it? You're in combat.
Okay.
So tell me what you need to make this reaction.
It's like rust and aluminium. That's all it is, and you just have to
And
spark
aluminium.
Yeah.
or magnesium. One of the
So
two.
there is aluminium or whatever, but it's halfway between you and this guy, and it is sort of seems to be the sort of thing that you'd need, but you don't know if you go towards it, if he'll jump forward and go at you first. You're unsure.
Okay, indirect around me, vicinity. Mm-hmm. Is there anything that I can kind of just toss in the way so he has to walk over the rake? So, and by toss, I mean just like kick with my foot and just like make it roll over so that it's more advantageous to just run.
There's a deflated rubber something that was once a basketball that looks like a dead critter that's decomposed. It's pretty much that. Otherwise, there's just hunks of metal that are sort of. A lot of the metal is sort of like icebergs in the sense that you see the surface of them. Otherwise, there are occasional bits and bobs.
Okay. If that's the case, I'm just gonna proceed to sit at the rake with I'm gonna take off my jacket and I'm just gonna hold it. And what I'm declaring to do, if he jumps, I'm gonna throw it in his face.
Cool. Then we arrive to Brad.
Okay. So this metal spike that I almost impaled myself on, how removable is this?
Destiny roll 12. With a strength check of 2, you'll succeed.
Can I assist with my grapple?
Yes.
Okay, so...
You can make a grapple check.
Yeah, you can just grapple check, which is
grapple
Challenge
check.
level 2 still.
Okay, so base 3 plus 2 in grapple.
+2 for your main attributes.
You don't have
yours.
strength.
I don't know.
But don't you
just-
always have attribute? Oh no, okay.
It's grapple. So
So challenge level 2?
Yep.
Yep, 3.
Yep. With a good yank, almost sort of subconsciously, you reach back to the thing that nearly pointed itself into you,
Yep.
and you think, I could pointy that into him. So you reach
Yep.
around and in an effort that would make, weightlifters sort of be like, oh, good lift, bro. Yank it out, and you've got this long shaft pole that was once the pole of
got a long shaft.
street sign thing. Guys,
Hey, you said it. You said it. Yeah, continue.
with this guy who is now climbing up and is very close to you.
Yep.
And I'll say, in this round, he's within reach.
Yep. My plan wasn't actually to go for him. my plan was to, separate the two so I could focus on the big guy, because the big guy's the one that threw me the challenge. It's the big guy that I want.
Well, if that's what your character's focusing on, rather than be intelligent about it, he has the pointy thing. He can jump up and attack the
That's what I was going to do.
Yeah.
I was just going to jump off and just, completely go ham on this guy.
Cool. I'll allow it. Cool.
To be a reach weapon?
It's a reach weapon. He has higher ground. And I'm almost willing to give him charge, because he's going to be falling at this guy. Okay. Get ready for this roll, because this is going to be one of the funnest rolls ever.
I don't think you can do that.
Huh?
I'm pretty sure you denied me from using 2 of the combat modifiers.
You can,
You can stack combat modifiers for sure.
Okay.
You can have like reach and flank.
And flank,
or-
yeah.
Fair
Like,
point, fair point.
okay, so if you base of 3,
Yep.
okay, you have plus.
3 with a dex.
You don't have any weapon bonuses. You have
No.
plus 2 with the reflex and 1 in. No, not 1 intelligence. 2 with the reflex. So they're
Yep.
attributes. You get plus 3
with
for a
reach.
reach weapon.
Yeah, I just checked it.
And you also. Okay, so now let's go through the combat modifiers. What's
Now hold on.
Let's just give him an advantage if he's
Since
got
this
high
is a jump, can I assist with my acrobatics?
You could, but it isn't worth
Yes. I was gonna get you to make an acrobatics check though,
Oh, okay.
separately to this roll.
No worries.
So we'll make a combat roll first, and then with someone else's dice, we'll get you to do the other roll. So then add 2 for high ground. Add. What did we add for charge? It was 2, or was it 1?
I know, it's on there, isn't it?
Add 1 for charge, and then high ground charge, and then you've got a reach weapon which has 3. Okay, cool.
Okay.
So that's your combat roll, but separate to that, use different dice if you need to. Roll a
That's your assist.
athletics check.
That's acrobatics or athletics. It's both the same.
Or either, yeah. I'll let.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, that's a pass. So yeah, for the
Whenever you roll, you get +1 on it.
Yeah, okay, cool. Be good to me, dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. So I got a 7.
so you got a 7. All right. This guy does get a defense. And here's stuff. Anyways, base 3.
Shad's off today. He's sick.
Malaria.
Ebola.
And
Sorry, what?
Ebola.
Oh,
1, 2, 3, 4.
that's
Wait, no, 3.
very PC.
And you got 7. Okay, so normally with 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, with a level 4 victory, you can create a fatal injury of -4 or dismember him, but he has 1 point in strength, so he's going to reduce your damage by 1 point, your victory level, so you can cause a serious injury or trip him.
Just jump on top of him and trip him over?
Well, if you get his. If he dodges, for example, and then falls, because this big heavy guy, for example.
Yeah.
There are ways that it would work, but.
Yeah. Now, I don't want to kill this guy, because I obviously know that he's an upstanding member. And
Are you that? Make an intelligence check.
Okay.
2.
1! Yeah!
Yeah, I'd let it pass.
Okay. Because, I've been in meetings with him before.
He's so happy about a 1.
Yeah. Hey, man, I only get 2. Come on,
And
give me-
even at an unintellectual level,
Wait,
you
okay.
know he's holding back for some reason.
Sorry?
He hasn't attacked, he's holding back a little bit.
Yeah.
So you also feel like,
Yeah, he knows that I'm important.
yeah.
Yeah. So I don't want to kill the guy. So I think what I'll do is I will trip him and try to frighten him into submission.
Yep, cool. So you jump through the air over the top of this guy who's climbing up, and then sort of looks up and behind him as you pass him in the air with this massive rusty pole, and then and this big guy starts to scramble back, and he drops his big pipe and falls to the ground, and you land on top of him. Your legs fully open and standing apart of the girth of his body, like he's a big fat dude. So you're pretty much sitting on his belly at this point, and you're holding a rusty spear-like thing a centimeter away from the center of his face.
And I just stare him down.
And he's just like, Heavy breathing. Then we turn to our friend Rubboit.
How did I go with my deception?
Two of them are distracted. And while you're sneaking away and you duck through a hollowed car and through something else, you come to the other side of it and there's one of these little jiggery-boos staring at you, sort of like very skittish.
A jiggery-boo.
A jiggery-boo, that's the technical term. You can act first, but he might look as if he will warn the others somehow.
Shit.
Do you have persuasion or anything?
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of how to use it.
Start singing, you gotta fight for your right to party. I don't know.
Can I try and deceive him again? I've just run into him and I see it and I'm just going to be like, which way did he go?
Oh, you're pretty conspicuous though. Mm-hmm. You're albino.
Mm-hmm. I got nothing else to do.
I could say you could try, but I will tell you it won't work.
What's the challenge level?
It's like if a man in a clown suit went and hid, and then you found him, and it was like, "Where did he go?" It's like it's that
These things aren't
conspicuous.
necessarily
What's the
intelligent.
challenge?
No, they're not. But you're
What's the
obviously
challenge level?
6.
Fuck, I hope this works.
If that does, that'd be brilliant.
Usually with this sort of stuff, it does.
I know, like you're hacking that spaceship.
3, 4. Wow, that's so tempting.
What? Use 2 destiny points? Really?
Do it, do it, do it.
No. No, I'm not going to waste them.
He almost seems fooled for a split second, and then then he looks fearful and what does he do? Leaps at you, very little yellow needly teeth bared as he lunges at you. You're gonna have to act first or declare first or whatever, even though he's already declared. But technically he's a bit faster.
Cool.
All right, let's do it.
What?
Combat.
I didn't have a combat roll.
Everyone has a combat roll. You just don't have any bonuses.
I'm going to cower.
Huh?
I'm going to cower.
You're not going to fight back.
No.
Really? Really?
What practical skills do I have in fighting? Absolutely none.
Yeah, but you can react.
I did. I'm like, ah!
He's doing what his character
Yeah,
does.
okay,
There you
cool. Well, little Jiggery jumps at you. Alright. He gets 1, 2, 3, which he leaps at you. You don't even roll defensively.
I shield my face.
Well, it's defensive. You can act defensively.
Yeah.
Make a combat roll, add 1, and that's your defense roll. You just can't cause any damage. 2. Okay, so it's in close combat, is the result of that. We return to the other part of the junkyard, few stones throw away, to Rover.
I'm getting chased by the right-hand man or something, aren't I? Isn't he like running at me? I'm just sitting on the ground with my...
Yeah.
He has to go
So
out
let's
first.
lay out the scenario. You're sitting on the ground. There's a rake between him and you.
Mm-hmm. With acid on the end of it.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah. Well, that's what the trap was.
And you...
I didn't just put a rake there. That's pretty lame.
Alright, and it was sort of if he would run at you or not.
Yep.
Alright. Oh, it's bloody... I used a tiebreaker for that. Okay, he tentatively starts slumpingly walking towards you, like really cautiously, but he's looking directly at you, and he steps on the rake, it flings up and lands square on the right side of his face. I rolled a 15 destiny roll.
Yep.
And immediately reels back as if you cast a spell at him. Like he's like, and he goes back to his boss, realizing his boss is on the ground with Brad standing over him with a rusty spear-like thing, which I'm assuming you turn and look at him, and he goes, and he just like runs away around the corner of the thing, and he's screaming. In this, all of the clans have different languages and stuff, like different codes and whatever. You're not aware of that. They all just talk gibberish to you, and you don't understand any connections there. But you know he seems to be speaking or screaming some sort of thing. And the guy who you're holding the spear towards gets this menacing look on his face and a slight grin. And he looks to his left where the other guy ran in the direction of. You're going to have to roll a perception. Brad.
So it's 3 plus 2. Plus 2 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
All right, that was pretty good. You hear a sound that sounds familiar, in a good way. It sounds like the place you come from. It's a sound that happens sometimes when they move from somewhere to somewhere else. So you know to look in that direction where this man ran off, and you feel like your friends are going to come.
It sounds like home.
Meanwhile, the guy who was climbing this pile looks back and keeps climbing because he's going to get to the top and just run away.
Yeah.
We get back to our friend Loop.
This was not the campaign I was expecting.
What were you expecting?
Not this.
Is that good or bad?
We're in a utopia. Well, we're in a utopia, so I'd have no need to develop any combat skills of any type.
Which means you're true to the campaign.
Yeah.
It's fine. It doesn't mean it won't come in incredibly useful at other times
Points.
where
We will
Brad
swap.
will be completely useless. We play swapsies. Anyway,
Cool.
yeah. This needle teeth thing lunges at you. It's in close combat. Hasn't caused any injury, but it's bitten into one of the, you're wearing this tank toppy thing.
You can't do damage and get into close combat.
No, okay, well he's lunging and gnawing and about to try and bite you in the neck or something. So what do you do?
I scream and try and scramble away.
Okay, so make a combat roll, which is
Do you have
defensive.
persuasion?
Yeah.
Could he be persuasive with a scream? Like shrieking like a little girl to the point where it hurts his ears or something? What sort of role is that? Is it the persuasion, deception?
I would allow you, if you're not going to attack in any way. Okay,
Or survival?
you don't have survival, do you?
No.
Okay. Yeah, no, you're just going to have to make a combat roll, which is defensive, and add 1 as a bonus for being defensive.
1.
Cool. Meanwhile, little Jiggery Boo comes an inch away from your halo and edges away from it and scrambles down like he's scared of it, and then starts to try and bite at you while still, in a weird way, simultaneously trying to get away from you. But he...
Like a dog that's scared of a vacuum cleaner?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Bites my
But at the same...
He
but-
bites my femoral artery.
What?
Massive pain in your leg. I just combat roll, yeah?
Yes, he got
For 3.
an 3-point win, which trips you over. So as he scrambles down,
We're already on the ground.
it's the hesitation back and forth. No, you're not.
You know what?
No, you weren't.
Yeah, I was.
You scrambled out of a car. You were standing up. Anyways, but now he's tripped you to the ground. At which point he scrambles off to go get his friends because he thinks he's got you down. He's going to come back and then they're going to get you because he's too scared to handle you on his own. As far as you can tell. You can tell this.
Can I try and run again?
Away from him in the opposite direction? Yeah,
Mhm.
of course you can.
I'd do that.
All right, cool. You run, you approach, you appear at this group where there's this upright rake that falls to the ground with a smashed vial, and there's some mist in the air. You see a dude run off in the distance, and a slightly high-looking, as far as you're aware, rover, who sort of looks around calculatively somewhat, and Brad, who is Brad.
Pretty much.
So there's only this clan leader left on the ground who Brad is towering over. And around the corner come a small legion of who you know, who you know, Ben/Brad, as your clan's kin.
Yep.
From the, such and such a
clan.
scab squad, such and such a... The people of the Gap don't refer to each other as the people of the Gap. That's what the people of Haven refer to them as.
Yep.
They don't consider themselves as stupid, but they call each other scabs because that's what they are. They are, vultures of the former world.
Yep.
So anyways, they arrive and the clan leader, who you feel like you're friends with. You don't feel like you know him, but you feel like you're friends with him.
Yeah.
He comes up to you and he's like worried about you. It's like, oh, you're right, lad. Oh, you've been handling negotiations without me now. That's not right. What happened?
So, what I want to communicate to both of these clan leaders is that these two guys belong to me.
Okay, roll an intelligence check. This is going to always determine how effective your communication skills are in that moment.
Nothing.
Terrible. You can basically grunt like an ape at this point.
So, what's different?
Well, if he rolled a 2, for example, he might be able to form half a sentence and, communicate something. But you do the Tarzan Jane thing.
Yeah.
Sort of like you look at them and go,
Because is he still close by?
I'm just kind of
yeah, still like a stone's throw away, sort of still semi-lounging on the ground.
There's we're not in combat anymore, are we?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I just pointed him and I'm like,
Can I walk over? So I'm going to put my coat back on as I'm walking over, and I'm going to pick up rust and put it in my pockets. So that's going to look weird, but whatever. And as I walk along, if I find any pieces of aluminium, I'm going to also put it in my pockets. But my goal is to grab a piece of my humanity. So that's the drug for the people who weren't listening earlier.
Yep.
And try and place it on Brad's halo.
Okay. As you walk towards him with that in mind, this clan person looks from this strangely communicating Brad to you and looks baffled. And then he also notices Loop coming over the map. But he notices a halo and clothing that looks quite foreign. And he just stops dead in his tracks. And he's holding like a banner thing, and he's sort of like clangs it on the ground. It hits a piece of metal, so it makes a loud sound. And all of the people behind him, and he goes like, "Oh, show your respect, lads!" And all the people kneel. And there's 3 odd-looking people sort of standing. One that's familiar to them, but 2 that look to them more in that godlike state that they fear. It's more fear than reverence, but they're all kneeling.
How does he react to me putting
There's, just to give you a sense of scale, there's that not everyone fits in the, like, imagine Sparta's 300 fitting in the sort of alleyways of the Gap, right? It's sort of like that. It's not like a big army, but it's a good number of scrapyard soldiers.
Mm-hmm. So what are you doing exactly? You're putting rust on my halo.
I'm just basically grabbing out a bit of humanity, which just looks like a strip, and trying
roll
to place
perception
it on
before you're successful. I want to see if you notice something. Challenge level.
Do I need to use chemist or anything?
3. No. Ooh.
5? 6.
Yeah.
You get now that you're closer and he's still, and you're directly behind Brad, you, Rover, know the model of this halo. And you know what it's meant to look like and what's meant to be there, but something's not right.
Okay.
And you know, having worked on halos for many years, there may be a very clear reason this person is lacking intelligence, and it may be right in front of you, and it may be a solvable problem.
Okay. What's missing? Because have we got a perception?
You don't know without further diagnostics, but you know that. That's a pretty clear diagnostic to have come to with a glance as you come towards him, so...
What does the humanity do to his persona? Because remember...
You don't know?
Remember though, it doesn't make you stupid, it numbs the effect of the halo.
Mm-hmm.
So it essentially partially severs the connection between the brain and the halo.
Well, would that actually...
Would
I know what's going to happen when he puts the humanity into my halo.
What do you think will happen?
Nothing.
Yeah.
And so that would give him an idea of what's wrong with my halo.
Yeah, if he does it, he does it.
Yeah.
You're already committed.
Yeah, I'll put the humanity there, but... so
He hasn't even noticed you've done anything, and you don't immediately notice a change in his behaviour, no.
Alright, can I roll a perception to see if it's disconnected from his cerebral cortex or something?
You'd need a little bit more time and space to properly investigate something like that.
I just ran back into the group and I've seen a shitload of people there, haven't I?
Yeah, so you arrive, and as you sort of, you weepingly sort of flail and then slow down and realise that there's a small army of people sort of kneeling, and the clan's person who's sort of bowing.
Are these guys really big still?
A lot of them, well, some of them. This is is essentially their army. So some of them are, but they seem to be showing respect. So they're not attacking. They look more scared of you than you are of them. To be fair, immediately you can see the terror in their eyes. So the clan's kin leader is probably the biggest one. You can tell this is pretty Darwinistic stuff. It's the big silverback gorillas are the leaders of the group. This is what's happening in the gap. As far as the army goes, there's a dozen or so who are pretty hefty, but a lot of them are also malnourished.
I stop and scream, "What the hell is going on?"
All right.
And in the background, you hear, hey. No. Okay, continue. Sorry.
Yes, please.
All right. The kin's leader looks up at you and he says, "All right, I know these are tenuous times because we dealt with the same thing when Brad came here. Oh, this is Brad, by the way. Hello, Brad. How are you today? Good. Let's try not to cause too many more discussions today, shall we? Negotiations are very tenuous. All right, you're from Haven.
Of course I freaking am.
You're the only one since Brad that we've ever met, and Brad's an asset," he says, considering the right words to say. But he's like, I forget myself.
What do you mean from Haven? Where the hell are we?
I am great. Well, that's my name. Great.
Cocky bastard as well.
Well, I'm not great. Well, ask one of my wives. Some of them will tell you I am great, but others will tell you I'm not. And you're not allowed to speak to them. I forget myself. I'm great. Leader of the something tribe of the scabbers of whatever. Welcome to our part of the...
What do they call it?
I don't know. The scrap.
Yeah. Close enough.
He's coming to his senses, and you realise something's dawning on him. And he's like, "We've been trying to lead a revolution and join the armies of what you call the Gap. Or so I've heard." Anyway, stop snickering.
No, I'm not laughing at what you think I'm laughing at.
Okay, anyways. What?
I'm also not laughing at that.
Is he paying any attention to my character at all, or is he just directly talking to...
Well, he's been speaking, so he's talking to the talky one.
So he's talking to Luke.
Yeah.
Does he notice that I've got the...
Yeah, he noticed yours first.
Okay.
But Luke ran in "Ah!" and then started talking. So he's talking to Luke.
Okay. Just for lols, can I now see if I can throw my aluminium and rust together like this to make like a to make it seem like we're gods.
It needs ignition, but
Now, if you want to do it right now,
Yeah, I'm just gonna go like a circus
are
strip.
you going to say anything when you do it?
Huzzah!
Okay. Yeah, go on. It's a chemistry check.
A chemistry check.
Let's say challenge level 4.
Say
Not necessarily to cause a reaction, but to have it happen in the impressive and smooth way you want it to. Because when you're throwing acid and dust particles in the air.
8. It's an 8. And as I do
So
it,
all of a sudden, as it's talking to Loop, you, Rover, it's just like, huzzah! And there's
I'm
like
gonna
this
stand in a
flash
victory.
of flames in the air, and all of the people bowing fall on their faces, and a few of them start sobbing, and you swear one of them may have soiled themselves.
I'm just standing there like this too, so with my head raised and my hands on my hips.
right. Were we in the middle of our discussion?
Yeah, yes, but
Okay, so that's obviously
clan
interrupted it.
leader Great falls to his knees in the middle of the talking, and he's breathless, and he goes, "Please, I beg of you, our world is nearly out of supplies. We're going to starve in the next 5 years if we don't join the forces together, and with your help, you're basically demigods. We could reunite the world, we could feed our hungry. That city has all that we need, all the food we could ever want, all the anything, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, but at this point, he's like, this is an opportunity he never saw possible, and he's like, all of the other clans would use you for ill will. We need to unite these people once again."
Have I figured out I'm not in Haven yet?
Yes, you're smart. You're not Brad.
Okay,
You're quite
right.
intelligent, and I will say at this point, except for you, because you recently took humanity, you're back to full intelligence.
Whew. Okay, it's at this point I'm kind of like with an angry look on my face because I've just been yelling, but it's like I was right.
So tell me the connections that you've made. Do you like say any of your thinking out loud to Great?
No, no. But it's ticked over in my mind that this paranoia I was harboring about the apostles of Haven was true because I thought that was complete bullshit. And when they released me of jail, they've just suddenly sent me to this place outside Haven, and I've kind of come to the conclusion in my own mind that I was right, and they had to kick me out before it became too obvious, and I spread it. Yep.
Cool. So here's a question for you. We have half an hour
It's
left.
totally turning into a campaign. That's what I was laughing at.
Doesn't have to.
I have an idea on how we can move things forward a little bit quicker.
Why is that?
Well, I know how to make thermite. We have aluminium and rust, and there's a shield. Let's just make thermite barrels and just roll them
Well,
onto
I
the
was
wall.
going to suggest, I mean, you could come up with things like that, but we can also have chunks of time passing. Every like 5-10 minutes, we can decide what you guys want to plan to do, make some destiny rolls, and we can see how we can make the story move.
I really like the idea of him fixing my hair though. Just saying.
That has to be his idea.
Well, first on my priority of things.
This is turning into a campaign. I feel like Jennifer says Shadow's going to be pissed. And next week we'll pick up where we left off. No, just kidding.
Yeah, I'm gonna say to Great. Well, if you want to assault Haven, one thing we could do is make some thermite like that fire that I just made. All I need is some of this red dust here and some of this, and I'll hand him some aluminium. You get a lot of that, and we can probably do the shields, maybe.
He looks amazed. He's like, what is this sorcery? He doesn't really say that, but it's like...
Now, I helped set up a lot of the systems within Haven. Would I know what the shields are capable of?
Yes. This is where you're useful. Okay, so what we're going to do, each of you, is going to say something that you're going to try and achieve. Your character will try and achieve in the next week. Okay?
Okay.
Great, the clan leader, has welcomed you into his clan and adopted you as part of the highest council of this clan, which is one of the bigger clans. There are millions of clans all around the world. This is an entirely overpopulated world, and you're just in a very desolate junkyard because everyone's scared of the city, so no one really goes near it. But what you find over the next week, I'm assuming you welcome his invitation to join the clan or whatever.
Shit, yeah, they kicked me out of my city. I want to take that fucker down.
So you arrive to the clan itself, and there's millions of people. This is the clan, and it's like 1 million people. And that's just one of the bigger clans of one of the millions of clans. This is a massively overpopulated city. Some of the clans are very small. Some of the clans are very big. This is one of the very big ones. But they all have very opposite desires. And this seems to be, and Brad wouldn't really have stuck around him because he's very emotionally based, not intelligence based. And he feels good about him. He always felt all right about him. So you seem to be vouching for him in a very yep sort of way.
Pretty much.
Yep.
You say yep, and it's like slightly constipated. Like yep. It's like very difficult to talk. Anyway, so you each have a week. You can let me know what you realistically want to accomplish in a week. I'll give you a certain. You can either take a roll that we specify against the challenge level or make a destiny roll, and then I will make a destiny roll based around the world itself. And we'll do this a couple of times and see where we end up.
Okay.
So we have week 1. What does Rover want to do?
I can't use my humanity because it's a combat proficiency, can I, to assist in the Halo building?
No, you can't, but...
I can just use intelligence. Can't really use chemistry. It doesn't really...
Yeah, I'd say it'd be intelligence, but because of your profession, like you didn't really put down Halo repairer or anything, did you?
That's because I didn't know.
But that's what... Oh, yeah.
You made that up, not me.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
Should I not have?
Yeah, it works out.
You're the chemistry part of the Halo repair. Anyways, anyway, let's say you just do that. It's like...
Okay.
May not have a proficiency in flipping burgers, but I work at McDonald's. It's a task, you're familiar with it. Probably.
Okay.
Tell me you picked up another job.
Shut up, I'm really struggling to get by. No, so you...
Is that like a day's work for me then?
To fix a Halo?
Yeah. Well, I'm assuming I'm not sitting there for a whole
Okay,
week tinkering.
it's
every
actually a
step.
pretty standard fix if the parts were readily available.
So I've got to make the parts.
Or find the parts. Because people die. People are thrown out with their halos attached. They're corpses that these scavengers don't go near because they're terrified of them. But the halos themselves are sort of there. There might be models out there. They all sort of shut down when people die,
So
or
ours
vice versa.
Ours didn't. Oh, when they die.
No, see what happened is you both were under the influence of humanity. Your cerebral cortexes were slightly disconnected from your halos. Power went out. The network in the city seemed to have gone down, but there are backup systems in place for everyone connected to the network. You were both slightly disconnected from the network, so your brains were able to sort of like, yeah, your halos disconnected when the power disconnected, and because your brains were then detected as dead because they were disconnected sort of from the halos, the city recognized you both as corpses when the power came back on. You were unconscious, right? So it picked you up as corpses and threw you out. You were the only 2 known
You
casualties
missed
of
what
what
I
happened.
said, didn't you?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Does that sort of make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, all right. Well, I don't know whether I have to use intelligence or persuasion or whatever, but can I use my head and like point at parts and say, "Great, do any of your people know of this particular part?"
What
and,
you
like,
could
draw
do,
it down or
what
something?
you could decide to do is, you could like draw up a chart and like explain what, like these people aren't as dumb as Brad. Brad's special, so they can talk and communicate like people. They're just not super intelligent, right?
Yeah. So I'm just like drawing a picture. They've got to find.
So you
this.
can just show them
Does it feel
the
like the
model, you
standard
can
for
show them his
intelligence
thing,
in this
and just
world?
get them to gather as many as possible in the hopes that you can salvage the
All
parts.
right, I'll do that for an entire week.
And that can be your destiny roll. Brad, what do you... Let's make your roll first.
15.
Yep, okay, cool. You find it, and within 3 days, you're about to do the final thing, and you do the magic final connection. The difficult part is getting his... Usually in Haven, I always look at the names because I always forget. Usually in Haven, there are systems that people connect to that sort of like jack them into the mainframe while you can disconnect the Halo and work from it. You don't really have anything like that. So you needed to find a way to make repairs with the Halo connected, because technically it could still kill him if it's diffused or if something happens.
So what did I do? Like kickstart him off my brain?
you made repairs while it was still connected, and then there's this tenuous moment where you're about to, restart the thing, and you don't know if it'll kill him or not. Fortunately, he's okay. Brad, what do you do? So now you have zero intelligence.
Yes! Oh, man!
You've woken up from a bad dream. You've just been drunk for 4 years of your life, and it's like you have the worst hangover ever, but man, you're just like, what's happening? But you can talk.
You're still dim-witted, though.
You're dim-witted. You're a less.
He still has a -1, and he's
not a -1. The -1 was because the Halo disconnects.
Yeah, but he doesn't get the bonus from the Halo.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. So you're an average person.
With the help of the Halo, I'm as intelligent as a normal person, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Man, that really speaks wonders for what those things are doing.
Okay, so yeah, I just
you're like the sentient monkey. Sorry, go on.
Okay, yeah, I just get up. Like for those first 3 days, I was proud as punch because I was like, he's mine. that's all I was focused on.
Yeah.
But yeah, once I wake up, the last thing I remember is flying between the buildings, and then while I was doing my crazy parkour stuff, it just shut out because I reached the boundaries of the city. So the last thing I remember
and it all comes back to you, comes flooding back to you. And what happened, because Robin Mackey don't actually know this story. He was parkour obsessed and obsessed with adventure, and one day he went adventuring too far and slipped or jumped or whatever and went outside the force field. And at the same time, normally if you go outside the force field, it just shuts down your Halo, but his was hit in such a way that it sort of did a similar thing to what happened to both of your Halos.
That's convenient.
Yeah, exactly. But it's only happened to our 3 heroes, and that's why you're heroes. So it sort of disconnected from his consciousness before it disconnected from the mainframe and could have killed him. And then when he woke up, it sort of was jacked up and slightly malfunctioning as a device, and little bits in here were sort of miscalibrated. So was his brain. And it sort of solidified that. But yeah. Cool. So after that,
I just wake up and I go to the one person that I know and trust, which is great.
Yeah.
And I just come in, I just sit him down, and I just go, fill me in, man.
He's like, what? What's happened to you? And he grabs you and he hugs you and he's like, I've been trying to embrace you as a son for ages, and your blank eyes. And he's weeping. He's like, ooh. He's like, dreams are coming true because he's going to restore humanity.
Yeah. So I'm just like, look, what's the date?
He fills you in.
Yeah. I go, okay, I'll make you a deal. I'll fill you in on how I got here, what happened, if you fill me in on what's happened in the last 4 years.
We're in for a long conversation.
Gather
Gather your friends, he says decidedly. We'll hold a feast of the greatest grubs and rust-covered penguin carcasses. Penguin? Why
Sure.
penguin? Why did I go to penguin? Dove carcasses. And snake chili that we can gather. Anyways, what does Loop do in the next week?
Definitely don't go to that.
But what does Loop do in the next week? Keeping him on your motives.
Yeah. Honestly, he's going to be really standoffish from everyone else.
Yeah.
He doesn't particularly like them, but he likes the idea of getting revenge on the overlord that is running Haven. Mm-hmm. I'm still confident there's only one.
But he holds you together, he gathers together meetings separate to Gross Feast to plan this thing, right? So that's what happens in the week or so. Really the only role that needed to be made was yours to fix his Halo.
Do I attend said meeting with Rob?
Yeah, all 3 of you.
Honestly,
and then there's like a committee of 6 people. They're all pretty intelligent. Most of them are just very big. So they're the bosses.
Honestly,
so they're not intelligently, they're not very smart. They're mostly leaders because they're huge. Sorry.
So at this point, he's going to do almost nothing until Mackie gets his hands on some of the old Halos.
I've got heaps of them. I got heaps of spares.
Then I'm going to steal one and try and reverse engineer it. See if I can somehow get it to turn back on and link up to the Haven system.
Okay, so let's spend the next week. So you're going to have to try and find, gather, and repair Halos.
Okay.
You're going to have to find ways to make them function without them needing the mainframe. Which
No.
Wouldn't I do the physical
The opposite.
stuff?
I want to make it boot up, not connected to anyone, but I want to make it boot up and connect to the Haven mainframe.
Oh, that's physically sort of impossible. They're all like wired wirelessly to be.
Yeah, you can still do it.
That's the point.
In real life, you could.
It's sort of like this contained wireless system that they're all connected to inside this domed city. So to connect to that,
Even if it's like right up against the wall.
yeah, it's on the other side of that force field.
If you give him a difficulty level and I assist with infiltration.
What's the goal of the outcome? What are you looking to do?
Ideally, I'd like to send signals to the Haven mainframe
You can see if
Through.
I can rig yours.
through this Halo. Even if that's a
I
task
think
that
that's
takes...
probably a better way to do it because yours are still connected to you both and were recently connected to the mainframe, so you might be able to find some sort of way to. I don't know, it's a toughie.
Or we could try and, like, hypothetically speaking, narrator, boot up one of the new ones for testing purposes, plug an extra one in, because I calibrate them and stuff. I'm assuming I can make calibrations. So I would plug mine in to make calibrations, and then, like, enter it in, like, a boot mode or something. So it can't do its
Let's
normal
summarize very
functions.
quickly what you want to achieve.
Basically, like starting your computer up in safe mode. But to do that, I've got one of these little brain things, and we've just been plugging mine into all of them, trying to just boot it up in like safe mode to see if we can hack back into the network. So it doesn't have extra intelligence or anything. You're just booting up like the operating system at its very base level, basically.
Okay, that will take. All right, when the city was first put together, it was connected to more archaic methods of functioning.
And I'd probably know of them.
Yeah. So they're the ones you've got to find, and
Basically, I
they're
want
tangible. You need people
I
to
want
dig
some
into the
way.
scrapyard to reach the nodes on the outside, but underneath the city that carried signals from other great cities before the city was founded and solidified.
Then that's what I do.
Yeah.
I want some way of connecting to this mainframe.
Cool. It's going to be like a big effort, but you have like 1 million people at your disposal. So, yeah, let's do this. And then, Brad, let's say this next project is going to be like a month's work. So you have a month. What are you going to try and do in a month?
So I see all the preparations that you guys are making to make an assault on the city. And so I organise with Great to offer my skills in training a hand-picked select few in my skills.
That being said, you all of a sudden can communicate all of the reasoning and logic and almost, to an extent, physics behind what you do. You're obviously like limited in your intelligence, you're average, but even an average person can communicate how parkour works or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're very skilled in that stuff, so you're actually able to now communicate and train an elite mobile group of assaultants.
Yep.
Is that a word? Assailants.
It is now.
Assailants.
Yeah.
Okay. I like to
Militia is probably
Alright.
the word you're looking for.
Each make a destiny roll. 20! Oh, we needed one of those.
1.
4.
Close enough.
Does that mean he gets 4 soldiers?
15. All right. So Rover
Critical
rolled a
hit.
20, Brad rolled 4, and Loop rolled 15. Okay. Rover gathers hundreds of halos. Now that takes a lot of digging and all this stuff because there aren't many people that are discarded. There aren't many people who have died. So to get that many to work with is a big deal. Explain to me again your point. You wanted to boot up in safe mode essentially
Yeah,
and
so
connect
that
to...
we could use them to connect to the network
Right.
in the nodes that he finds.
The result is, due to mixing and matching to somehow conveniently found pieces that seem to fit together with other halos, like puzzle pieces, which seem like it's just like destiny almost. You have a good dozen working halos that are ready to, what you feel after a bit of fiddling around and help from a very talented coder, have recalibrated and coded in a way that can boot separate to the mainframe. Brad has found 5 people who are a mix of skinny but tough.
Yep.
they're not very good at doing what you do, but they're the best things you can find. And you have a reasonable little odd squad of people who can lump around. They're much more physically fit than anyone who lived in Haven.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily healthy. One of them has like tumours all over his back, and one of them has like scales on one of his legs for some reason. But they're good combatants, and you've sparred for a month. You've leapt across things and all this stuff. They can never keep up with you, but they were pretty good. You got to a point where you're reasonably confident with them, but you expect a few of them to die, unfortunately.
Yep, okay.
But you feel like it's mobile and decent enough to do some work. Meanwhile, Loop found 3 working nodes to the city, all of which are disconnected from their mainframe, but might be able to be recalibrated, even if at minimum to send some sort of a message or whatever.
All right.
So, like, at best, you'd be able to get in there and control the city, which is, like, ridiculous. It would be a major flaw in the system that they would never have expected. At worst, you get nothing, or you empower them to be warned and do something bad back or something.
This is a bit of a guess, but I'm assuming my character would probably have assumed this already. Can the halos alter the chemicals the brain produces on the whims of the evil ruler?
That will have been an assumption you will have made. That's not a question I could specifically let you know the answer to.
Okay. Well, I know what my goal is.
Okay, I'm making a destiny roll to see which of these outcomes, good or bad, it's going to end up being, or somewhere in the middle. Yeah?
Yeah.
Can I?
Okay, you connect to the mainframe, and you find that in a very rare showing of unintelligent dismissal of the intelligence of the people of the Gap, there have been some major holes in the system that have been left because they've been buried. And that seems to have been efficient enough for them because there are only Gap brutes outside who aren't going to know what to do with a bunch of cables. And you can access the mainframe to the same degree that you could before. Now, of course, that had its limits, but you got in pretty deep. But that being said, oh, there's
Hey.
sorry.
Hey.
Whoa. Am I red? Ooh. Anyway, no, you just like you can access it essentially for what you got arrested for. So you started to be able to access some of the core security protocols and information and stuff, but not be able to control the city or anything like that, or at least find the deep information that is contained in this tower where the apostles are kept. Okay. Which, mind you, have not been seen for over 100 years. Huh?
Can I tell you what I want to do?
Yep.
I want to send a signal to every Halo to load their brains with dopamine, and I'm in like fucking overdrive.
Ooh, you got a 15.
What's dopamine?
You're connected to the
Happy
network.
Okay. While you're considering that, if we have per se a meeting in relation to our actions, what we're doing with these brains, we could potentially use 2 of the 3 brains to like do like a DDoS to try and take down the shield or something.
What you can do is you can reverse engineer you can decompile the halos you have, and you can figure out how they have been affected by the source. You can't necessarily, as far as you are capable, affect all of the halos in the city, but that might be one way to get to that, or at least figure out how it's all functioning.
That's my goal. If I can make someone completely useless by completely debilitating them, that's what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, the end result of them having this dopamine overload is them just kind of like twitching and orgasming on the ground.
Do you want to roll and declare your intention of this roll specifically? You're either going to be attempting to decode a halo that you have to figure out how it's affected and what the connection is, or somehow break the security in the city and affect the people there.
You could use it to triangulate where the signal's coming from. We have 3 points. 3 points of reference you can use.
Do I have to roll this?
I'll get you to roll that to do the decode, and I'll let you make an infiltration check for the hack. Oh, that was an 18.
18.
You find a direct connection from several of these halos that in essentially safe mode boot up and connect to the mainframe. You find that they're not as self-functioning as people were always taught. But the other thing you find is that they're not actually as far as the superiority of these devices is claimed to be, anywhere near as powerful as they could be. There seems to be specific things in place that are holding it back and pushing them in certain directions, and there seems to be something in this mainframe that's controlling the behavior of these devices. They're sort of like the cardboard versions, apparently, of what they're supposed to be. They still do a lot, obviously.
Knowing this, could I alter my own?
Potentially. Might be very difficult, and you may die.
Yeah, probably best not to do that.
Now you can hack, or try.
Well, you said infiltration.
Infiltrate to, yeah, so this is to infiltrate to bypass the security and then make a command to affect
Okay.
the halos in the city.
Would you like assistance in your infiltration?
I'm going to. Can he assist me on my assist? Because I'm assisting myself with hacking against my infiltration. Would he be able to assist me?
He'd be able to assist the command part of it as far as his chemistry goes.
Yeah, that's fine. That's cool. Okay.
But the security bit, the infiltration, no.
Okay, that's fine. Okay.
He can assist with infiltration, but I don't know if that'll help you or not.
We'll find out. This is my own assist roll for the hacking. So I'm rolling a hacking assist on my infiltration check.
Yep.
Sweet.
3.
5.
Cool. So you get +2. Roll your
I've got another roll.
Do you want
infiltration.
me to roll my assist before you roll your last roll?
Whoa,
Yeah.
yeah, go on. 1, 2, okay. 2, 3, 4, 5. So you get +4 to your outcome.
And then
Can I roll for moral support?
You can assist. It may ruin everything.
I've got a sleight of hand.
1, 2.
You can assist
2.
with.
Fuck it. Both my destiny points. 4.
You've got 6.
4.
What do you get?
I'm burning my destiny
2,
points.
3,
Yeah, but from
4
the assist-
plus 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, cool. You crack the security system. That's the level you've been trying to get at. And you've been working at it for a month, so you have all the time in the world, because there is no warning for this city that there are people out there, potentially renegades against their status quo. And you eventually have the capacity to cut through their security system like butter. And access to almost all of the information in the city. But it seems like there is almost like this black box of this something, this brain of the city that's inaccessible through any system. But it also seems to be commanding the system.
Have you seen Psychopath, Rob? No. I'm getting a very Psychopath feel about this.
I don't know what that is, but
It's an anime.
anyways. We should do some drastic stuff in the next 5 or 10 minutes. Ready, go!
Who's up?
What do you want to do? You can hack the system now. You've infiltrated their entire security system. I feel like we spent like an hour on the combat scene in the thing.
We did.
And then we spent
It was a
like...
pretty good
I
combat
told you,
scene,
this could have
I
turned
gotta
into a
say.
campaign very easily.
Yeah, it could have.
Um,
Do we want it to eventually?
we just come back and do it again.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be a little... Anyway. Oh, fuck, what do I want to do? So many choices.
Well, we're gonna
Do
like
know that as soon as you act, as soon as you do something, you've broken through the security system without informing them, but as soon as you do something, you give yourself away. So make it a good choice.
I would say the best idea is to plan 3 particular things to happen at once.
That's probably a good point.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, if these guys can get...
I want to write a program
Yeah,
that is a dead man switch.
meaning.
Meaning, the second that my console loses connection, I basically
With your node.
I want to upload a dead man switch
Yeah.
somewhere in their stuff. It doesn't matter where. But the second that I lose connection with wherever I've uploaded this,
You die.
No. So say I stop using my console,
Yeah.
but I've already uploaded it. Because that link has been severed, my thing now triggers. Imagine if I was holding a trigger for a bomb and you shot me.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do to their system.
Specifically to do what?
So they
Literally nothing. Well, no. Obviously, when it triggers, it does something, but I don't want them to know it's there.
I am confused. Can you make this simple and
Okay.
quick?
Simple and quick.
Simple and quick. Simple and quick.
Okay.
Simple and quick.
Okay. So I'm a terrorist and I've got a bomb somewhere. Yeah.
Fuck. What?
Yeah.
Dude!
And I'm holding the trigger.
Be sensitive.
And I'm holding the trigger.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay. And
Do you realise that we're going to get swatted soon? Because
yeah. Anyway, but I I have other things that I want to do before I blow up their system. So I might, go over there and take all that money, and then I go over there and take that guy's money, and what's that? Fill everyone's head with dopamine.
This is not fast and quick. We're going.
Yes, but once I've started doing those other things, they realize and they sever my connection. At which point, system down.
So you want to shut down their city.
I want them to shut down their system when they detect me.
So basically, by them trying to block him, what they're actually doing is turning their system off.
Yeah.
It's a basic technique. So it's
Okay,
not
but
like
what
a
do you want to do
honeypot.
before you do that?
I want to try and take down the shields. No, that happens first. I put the bomb in there first, and then when that's in there, I try and take down the shields and load everyone's head with dopamine.
Dopamine.
The happy drug.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Meanwhile, clan leader Great has advised that he thinks it's wise to unite the clans and blah 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 and have the city surrounded.
Get on that.
So that if they're taking the shields down, there's immediately a huge fuck off army.
Ready?
Yeah.
I'm taking my little band of troopers. I'm going around and spreading the word that we're going to launch a united assault on Haven.
Well, they're going to need someone to plant the bomb and do that.
What bomb?
I don't know.
Yeah, we got a whole bunch
the
of thermite.
infiltration in-person thing.
Because like what I was thinking, if you get the shields down,
Yeah.
and I could take my because of
But
my
that's what you were doing with the thermite.
Well, we have thermite. We haven't discussed how we're going to use it yet. You
yeah.
just started hacking.
because of the time I spent parkouring through Haven, I know that city back to front,
That's true.
and so
May have changed significantly in 4 years.
No,
No?
it's perfect. Doesn't need to change.
Okay.
But yeah, I know exactly where everything is, and so I can go anywhere where you guys need me to go to put anything that
That's
you need me
true.
to put anywhere I need to.
You guys are like the perfect team to take down a fuck off massive city like this.
Didn't you say there's like a spire in the middle of the city?
Yes.
Alright, well, let's thermite the spire in the middle of the city and just see what happens. Like,
I like it.
what's the... Yeah, is that a plan?
Or if Rob takes his bomb that he's holding the trigger to, goes to an airport, takes an airplane, he could just fly it into the...
It's not a literal bomb. I gotta make that
Too
known.
soon?
I have to make that known. It's not a literal bomb.
Yeah.
Basically, it's going to shut down their system. Like, as much as I can.
Yeah.
Won't that kill everyone?
Potentially.
Yes, that's a possibility.
Okay, final verdicts. What are we doing?
We're gonna plant the thermite. So his roll, well, okay. I'll use my roll to see if we can get the thermite to the spire. He can use his roll to see if he can shut down the entire city. And
I use my role to carry anything you want me to carry into where you want me to carry it, and then put it there.
okay, so I guess mine is mixing the chemicals.
Yeah, that would make sense.
His is taking the thermite,
So
and yours is...
shields are down. You and your squad infiltrate the city as quick as possible to get the thermite into the spire. The goal being to shut down the entire.
It'll just burn down. It'll fall over.
Yeah. The final goal of, I guess, this whole mission is to destroy humanity.
Haven, not humanity.
Destroy Haven and humanity.
How so?
I don't know. So,
No,
I mean,
they'll have access to all
the
the-
only remaining. Well, I suppose you got three very intelligent people who could help restore the order of an overpopulated,
Who are
fucked up
practically
world.
gods.
It's true.
Wow,
Anyways.
no.
Not yet.
No, we're not. That's obvious. I mean, from what you've told me, that's obvious. I'm probably the only one that knows this, because you probably didn't, I didn't share any of it.
Of course you didn't. You're Tui.
No, I'm not.
You're always
I just
Tui.
don't like people.
It's-
Tui did not like people.
Yeah, he did.
Alright,
We-
do we
yeah,
want
They
to
were
get
flashbacks or
Destiny
weaknesses
roll
too.
and go?
Anyways, okay, make your roll. Yours is for chemistry.
Can I just roll chemistry, and you give me a challenge level? Or would you like me to destiny?
Yes.
Roll that.
That's my goal right there.
Visualize it. Believe
Chemistry check,
and you can
challenge
achieve.
level. Thermite for a fucking massive building and the gathering of the. Okay, do the roll for how much of the materials you can gather for the.
Well, there's
creation.
rust and aluminium everywhere. It's a tip.
Yeah, but you need
Literally a
but
Coke
you need
can.
the acid and stuff.
No, you don't. You don't need acid at all. All you need to ignite is something to ignite it. It could be a match. It could be phosphorus. It could
You
be
still
an
need
electrical
to do
spark.
enough of that stuff.
Again.
An electrical wire with a current.
Fine. Okay, take your fucking chemistry roll. Challenge level Challenge level 3 for a basic success, 5 for a good success, 6 and above is like amazing success.
Yep.
You can re-roll that if you want.
Yes, re-roll it.
Dang it.
What do you got?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait,
Fi-
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6. Okay,
And I'm
that's an
gonna
astounding
spend
success.
2 destiny points. It's going to be an 8.
All right.
Damn.
You can take down this building as long as it's planted. It's, yeah,
Okay, so you have to plan it now.
I got 3 destiny points, so I'm happy.
Jeez.
it's true. You both have burned both your destiny points. I suppose you can't spend them anywhere else because we have like 3 minutes.
Okay, so
Too much.
what am I?
Negative 7.
What's the roll?
Yeah, that's going to be. Actually, Rob's going to have to go first.
Okay, because the destiny roll is like how much of my team
I
gets
trust
through,
myself
right?
more.
Destiny roll is different. Destiny roll is sort of chaotic and random, whereas skill checks are based on what you can do.
Okay.
But all right. So what are you doing now? You're doing your hacking thing.
Plant the dead man virus. Yep. That's my priority. Okay? If I lose connection to the server, then it triggers and shuts down the system. Yep. When that's done, I'm going to try and take down the shields.
Wouldn't the shields come down any... okay, continue again. They would come down anyway.
Just make a hacking check to do your first thing. Challenge level.
Assist?
Yeah, can I assist him with this?
Again, I was just going to do my infiltration. It's the same thing.
Yeah, assist with your infiltration or hacking, whatever.
1, 2.
This is to take down what? The shields?
Do you want me
So you
to
get
assist?
-1.
I've got infiltration.
Yeah, you may as well.
What's this goal again?
All of it.
One thing at a time. Ah, fine. We'll make it all of it.
5.
5. So it's +1.
1. Yeah.
What? Isn't it
Yeah,
anything
because
above
I had
three?
+2,
-1.
-1, +1 is total.
I had
A net
-1.
+1.
Yes.
Go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
So 7.
7.
All right.
Only fucked up 1.
All at once, an army approaches and surrounds the city. The shields just go, and in the same way that they went out, which you were unconscious for, the entire city's lights went down.
And the people monitoring this started writhing in pleasure on the ground.
Many with stains on the fronts of their pants, and like
Exactly.
some of them are like
I'm
writhing against lampposts, like.
I'm glad you realize my vision now.
A few of them are just drooling and like melting into the. Meanwhile, the question is, Great asks you, his co-army leader, do we attack them or capture them all?
Leave them. The whole point was that they were disabled.
Yeah, the halos are
Alright,
worth nothing.
now you can do a parkour roll. I'll do a destiny roll for your squad
Okay. Okay, so 2
to infiltrate the main building.
+2.
Parkour challenge level.
Assist. Okay,
My-
so I'm going to assist with acrobatics first.
Yep.
So I
So
get
just make
3
that as a challenge level 3.
+2 +2 for my assist.
Yep.
Yep. And then
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Cool. You get
So-
+2 to a parkour roll.
take
Make a
one out of
parkour
that
roll.
and then roll again. Nothing
Cool.
got to-
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 total.
Sweet.
Cool. So very swiftly and very quickly, and 5 being an extremely difficult task, which this is, which you succeed, you make it to the city building. Meanwhile, your squad,
Perishes.
not a single one of them makes it with you.
They
Most
see
of
the,
them make it 4 buildings along and just sort of slip and fall down and like...
They get distracted
Yeah.
by the people.
Half of them
rolling
end up
around
next to
moaning.
people writhing on the ground in pleasure, but writhing on the ground in pain.
How that happened, you're not quite sure.
You reach this tower carrying a backpack packed with thermite. You make your way in, you finally get in, climbing to the top of this huge tower using nooks and crannies and blah blah blah. You climb into the top and you find yourself in a room with 12 seats and a central node sort of thing with glowing, what looks like a lumpy mass with a halo around it.
Yep.
And the 12 things around it are corpses that are withered and mummified
Yep.
because they've been preserved by the halo.
Yep.
But with like these glowing lines that are funneling into the central
Brain.
thing. Yeah. And that central thing seems to be the core of the entire city's functionality.
Is that also being loaded with dopamine?
No, these are separate.
it's
These are off
closed
the
off.
grid.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Your
It's in a
halo is
DMZ
connected
roll.
to a network, though, connected to
Yeah.
your group members, and you can describe or even show what you see.
so I can just go boop, and they can see through my eyes.
Yeah, well, through the halo.
Yeah.
And you
So
get a
also-
hologram, or you can directly see what's happening, and this is the final decision. What
Ugh.
do you do?
And you're just having a party.
I'm ecstatic. Yep. Yeah. This is good. I said I was going to be a sullen character, but things, apart from being chased by creepy little things, everything's been going my way.
Okay.
I vote kill it. That's all I say.
Yeah, no, I say the same thing. I'm just like,
I'm just laughing.
battle.
Battle thrill seeker.
Is that
I want
what
to
we
see
do?
an explosion.
Yeah, I just go right up to it and I place the thermite under there, and then I do whatever I need to do to set that baby off, and I get the heck out of there.
And the thermite, you're like an inch away from the explosion with the thermite.
Thermite doesn't explode.
It just
In this story, it does. Sliding down the building as the flames of this brightly burning, non-exploding thermite that sounds something like this, but much more impressive. Maybe and like this is a bit better.
yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Anyways,
Love it.
so that's sort of bursting, and you slide down, and you land at the base of this building that's sort of melting in a goopy mess.
Yeah. While I'm doing it, I just want to take like a metal fragment and like do it like a snowboard just for fun as an effect.
Roll it.
Yes.
Just roll it.
Yes.
Just
You
roll it.
trip and start rolling down the building.
Yes! Yes!
Exactly what you want to. You roll to 19.
Cool
You,
guys,
feels
don't look
good.
at
and you do a
explosion.
backflip and like kiss a pretty girl at the like all at once. It's very impressive.
Pretty goes.
Who's driving?
on the ground.
Yeah, you land on a very gorgeous. You land on your childhood crush,
There's so many
who's
things.
already writhing in
There's
pleasure.
so many things wrong with what you're saying.
So
Anyways,
what do we
you
have?
land on
I'm
your
talking about
childhood
Brad.
love, who's already writhing in pleasure, who you make out with. It's a glorious moment.
Shouldn't get a choice.
You all know, but she likes it either way. So, I mean, you know.
Oh man.
Oh, it's that. Okay. Anyways,
What?
didn't need sound effects anyway.
Oh.
And then, yeah.
Wait, why did it crash?
I don't know.
I'll get the log later.
Anyways, yeah, so everyone is united. The clans people decide that they'll found a new blah, blah, blah. And great, you know, sort of
He's just great.
makes
You're
a
gonna,
speech.
you're gonna leave on a cliffhanger, like there's like an iPad on the ground that says like, I don't know,
Upload complete or something.
Haven, yeah,
With
like
a picture of like an oozing brain that like disappears before you know what's happened.
like the Haven is down.
It's an iPad.
Backup link.
It was
starting or
Steve
something.
Jobs. He invented that. Anyways.
Well, he no.
And that
was
brings
Bill
us to the
Gates.
end of our very long one shot. But
Yeah.
that's basically it. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Sweet.
I didn't think we'd get to an end, but we did. So cool. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We're way over time, so we're going to have to wrap up like now. So, anyways.
Hey, it's all good.
All
Made
right,
out with a
cool.
girl
Thanks
who
for
was
joining, Twitch.
Really enjoying it.
See ya.
See ya.